guys, welcome back to another episode of the Property Source and Success Show. All right, straight into it today. Today I'm going to talk about something that really wound me up this week. Really wound me up. So I was talking with one of the newest mentees earlier on this week. He literally joined us this week. And he was telling me he's part of a joint venture partnership right now. And on the surface, everything sounds good. He sourced the deal. He's managing a full-blown HMO conversion refurb to the tune of £180,000. He sourced it, he's managing it, he's negotiated it, and his JV partner has put in all the money. And he's getting paid absolutely all. He's getting paid absolutely nothing. There is no sourcing fee, there's no project management fee. All he's getting is a slice of the equity when it's done. And look, I'm not trying to slate anyone here. But I am and was absolutely appalled. And I told him when we spoke this week, that's a mistake that you made prior to coming into the mastermind. Maybe you didn't know, but we will never allow you to do that again. So it actually inspired me to do today's episode, because if this one guy has done that and made that mistake, then my guess is there are a lot of other property investors and entrepreneurs out there who simply don't know what they don't know and are actually doing themselves out of a lot of money by not knowing this information. So on today's episode, I really want to go through a few things. I want to talk to you about why that kind of setup that my mentee client had going on, I want to talk to you about why that's wrong. I want to talk to you about what you should be doing and what should be happening in a property structured joint venture. And this is important, a property structured joint venture. I also want to have a look at why you should be paid for the work that you do, even if you're a joint venture partner. And then we look at how to navigate and negotiate this stuff professional going forward. Let's be honest here, guys. The real value in a property deal is created at the front end. And this is important. I need you guys to understand and listen to this. The real value in a property deal is created at the front end. It's finding the deal. It's sourcing the deal. It's securing the deal at the right price. It's negotiating the deal to the right price. It's running the numbers. It's doing your due diligence, right? It's looking at the comparables. It's putting the power team in place. It's managing or coordinating the refurb budget and to a timeline. That's the real skill in a property deal. And let me tell you now, that's actually the real skill in a joint venture partnership, because that's where 80% of the heavy lifting happens. Now let me then ask you, if you are doing all of that, right? If you're doing all of that, you're finding the deal, you're sourcing the deal, you're negotiating the deal to the right price that works for your model, you're running the numbers, doing your due diligence, looking at your comparables, you're getting the power team in place. And let's be honest, dealing with any form of trades team is something that would make most people want to nail their eyelids shut. And then you're managing the refurb on top of it to bring it in on budget and to bring it in on time. Let me ask you, if you're doing all of that and your JV partner is just hitting a bank transfer, who's doing the work? Who's taking the time risk? Who's taking the reputational risk? Who's taking the operational stress of it? And I can assure you, having done many of these, there is operational stress as part of this job. The answer is you are. So why the are you not getting paid? Why are you not getting paid? I'm obviously rattled about this today, hence taking on the water. Why are you not getting paid? Let's have a look at it. In this case, my mentee, who shall remain nameless, he missed out on a sourcing fee. And in this instance, it was a minimum £8,000 for the size of the deal. So he's missed out on £8,000. He's also missed out on a project management fee. And conservatively, that's around £20,000 to £22,000 based on a 10 to 12% rate of £180,000 refurb. So general rule of thumb, if you don't know, if you're project managing or project coordinating a project, a refurb, then you will typically charge 10% of the overall refurb cost. So if the refurb's 10 grand, you will charge 10% of that, making it £1,000. If the refurb is £180,000, you would charge 10% of that, which is around about, well, it's £18,000. On top of that, You've got time, you've got energy, and it takes up brain space. And you're doing all of this for a promise of future equity that might pay off years from now. That's £28,000 the person in question has left on the table. £28,000. Is there a correct way to structure it? Yes, there absolutely is. What should have happened? Well, to be very clear, and I want you to take this on board, because I am certain if it happened this guy, it's happening a hell of a lot more of you. And what you don't want to do is screw your value and work for free. So what should have happened? Number one, you charge for the sourcing of the deal, even though you are going to be a part owner in that deal because it's a JV partnership. You charge for your sourcing. You source the deal, you get paid for that, even if it's a joint venture. You're both allowed, you're allowed to be both the sourcer and an equity partner. That's called wearing multiple fucking hats. And professionals in property do it all the time. The second thing that you will do is that you will charge for the project management. If you are overseeing a 6-figure refurb, now to be clear, this is a substantial refurb, but even if it were not that size, you still charge for it. You need to be compensated for your time, otherwise you are working for free. The investor isn't managing the trades, you are. You are putting your time aside. You are taking time out of whatever your other day job might be or your other property work. You are taking time out from it and you are losing income by not charging. Number 3, equity is extra. Equity is a bonus for the value that you create. It's not your only form of payment. Equity is seen as a bonus for the value that you bring to the table. So if you're bringing the deal, if you're managing the refurb and you're doing the day-to-day work, you should be earning both an active income, sourcing and project management fees, and the longer term equity income. It's not one or the fucking other here. It's not pick or choose. So what do you do moving forward? Well, look, it's simple, because you just need to know that you bring value to the table. You also need to know that actually I'm going to charge my worth here. So how would you avoid getting stitched up like that again? Well, look, you have to be clear from the start. Define your rules and charge for your services. And again, I want to reiterate that the mentee in question that I'm speaking about simply didn't know this. He thought that it was perfectly normal that the equity would be the only gain that he would get from it. He didn't know that he should be structured it this way, but what he did learn very quickly was, given the level of effort that went into sourcing the property and the level of effort that has gone into this day with managing the refurb, he knew instantly he'd made a mistake by not charging. So you have to be clear from the start. Define your rules and charge for your services. Don't assume that equity replaces fees. It doesn't. Again, it's a bonus for the value that you create. The third thing I want you to do is simple. Think like a business owner, not a beggar on the investor's table. And if you're building portfolios for clients, even if they're your joint venture partners, you must be paid for the value that you deliver. And I want to be really clear on this. This isn't about greed. It's about being smart and it's about being sustainable. You're not generating income while you're building these portfolios, or if you're not generating income while you build the portfolios, you will burn out. You can't build a business, guys, on the hope that one day, way in the future, that you'll get a payday from a future finance. That's a fast track to bankruptcy. So let me say it clearly, guys. If you are sourcing the deal and you're in a joint venture partnership and you're managing the refurb, you should be getting paid. Don't be grateful, be professional. Don't wait for that one day, way in the future, that distant payout. You need to create your cash flow and the equity. You need to be compensated for the job that you're carrying out. So if you're in a joint venture or you're thinking about entering a joint venture, go back and revisit the terms with your joint venture partner. Ask, what's the real value am I bringing? And am I being compensated properly? And for most of you guys listening in, I'd say that's probably not. And if you're not being compensated fairly, you've got 2 options. You can fix it and go through everything we talked about in today's podcast episode, or walk away if the JV partner is not amenable to you getting paid for the value. That immediately would be a red flag for me. So that's it for today, guys. I guess I went on a bit of a rant, but then you'd expect no more. But if you're listening to this episode and you're thinking, that's me right now, don't panic. Don't panic. But do start acting like the professional that you know that you are. And remember, if you have found this helpful, share it with somebody else in the property game, because this kind of thing is way too common and it absolutely needs to stop categorically. Listen, if the podcast is useful in any way, no matter what episode that you've listened to, please share it with a friend, screenshot it, tag me on socials, and I'll see you next week.